Hi, I'm Scott with Home Perfect Restoration. In this video, I want to talk about insurance policies, especially here in California. We've seen some of the most limiting and just terrible insurance policies in the last year to 2 years. We're seeing policies that homeowners have $50,000 deductibles on their standard track home, and they had no idea. They can't even put together $10,000, but yet they have a $50,000 deductible and they have no help when they have a major water loss. A lot of policies, and we've had 3 just last week alone, that had very limited coverage when the client had a water damage. One had a $10,000 cap, one had a $19,000 cap, and one had 10% of the property value as the cap for their damages. So if you've bought your insurance online and maybe you just checked a couple boxes or some items to save some money, get your policy in the hands of an agent or a broker that can take a look at it and let you know what coverages that you have. The worst thing is when you need insurance to be there for you, that you find out that you didn't have the right coverages or you had limited coverages. So there's about 3 buckets that you have in an insurance policy. You have your structure, your dwelling, which covers the house. You have your contents, which covers, all of your contents in your home. If you took your home, turned it upside down and shook it, everything that fell out is typically under that contents coverage. And you have ALE, or your assisted living expenses. And that's money if you got displaced from your property and you had to go live in a furnished home or a hotel where work is being done. The ALE, you want to have, my recommendation is at least 1.5 years for ALE. And that's because if you had a fire, the average time it takes on a fire rebuild is about 1 year by the time you get done with the insurance investigations, the insurance approvals, and then dealing with the city for permits, engineering, and all that stuff. It just takes some time. So 1.5 years, you're in a pretty good spot. Definitely make sure in contents coverage you have enough to replace all your contents. If there was something like a fire damage and you lost everything, make sure there's enough money for that. And then for your dwelling, especially if you haven't updated your policy in many, many years, make sure there's enough money in your dwelling to rebuild your house if there was a major fire loss, because that's what we're looking at. We're insuring against the worst case scenario, not your typical water damage that might be $10,000 to $30,000. If you had a fire and you lost everything, do you have enough money to get you back on your feet, get your house built and repaired, have your contents either cleaned or replaced, and you have enough money to be living somewhere else while all this is being done? If you need help or you need guidance, recommendation to some really good insurance agents or brokers that could review your policy, let you know how your policy looks, and if you need help maybe getting into a new one, give us a call. We'd be happy to direct you to some really good agents that we work with. Take care.